There we go. Part 2, second edition of Marching Yours Truly. It stopped raining a little bit, so it's raining on and off. So we're going to check. Who are the few, or the many, or the who are gonna go on this rainy day? I'm very curious. I'm gonna go to a public gym, which has evolved over the years. And if you know, bring the tools and the knowledge and the know-how. I'm willing, of course, to build on the ground, to give some muscles, give some brains, give some muscles, give some brains, give some muscles, in order to build some aqueducts and put some water, you know, some of that good water there. That's what I want to do. You put some of that water there, water there. We got to get it on the XYZ, and that's what we got to get it on to do, you know. So that's what we got to get it on to do. And doers and thinkers and philosophers and aspies like myself without HFA, part of a tiny minority, less than half of a percentile. Less than 1% of me have Asperger's, you know. So driving in now, going in Montreal direction downtown from my neighborhood. Already put in a few kilometers, a few miles. And of course going east, I'm gonna go down south, southeast, south, and hey, sing from rock and roll. 24/7 geopolitics and sports and fitness, and encouraging all to work out, train, exercise. Fitness, workout, train, exercising has been, is, and shall continue to be my medicine and therapy of choice. I gotta give a shout out. Oh, let's go check it out. It's gonna be a rink for that December. Problem with yours truly is can't skate Rainbow Dragon skates, but problem is breaking. Hey, look, you can work out with these maybe. Yo, okay, they serve a purpose, so I'm not gonna touch. But yeah, not bad. I like the green. I would love to do volunteering to paint the across Montreal. Bring me the permission, bureaucracy, blah blah blah. Bring me the tools, the paint and the brushes, and I'll volunteer to paint as many as I can during this. Of course, it's gonna start soon in about a month, because today is the 21st of November. We're still in that Scorpio, but I would love to put some red and blue paint. I am more rock and roll, verbal, of course, artist. Then of course, with my dancing is my favorite sport, but I love hockey, gridiron, and of course I would love to paint, to make it embellishing, putting some color, some beauty in our hockey rinks. But thank you nonetheless, public workers, and I gotta salute the bakers, the butchers, the bakers, the nurses, the doctors, grocery store clerks, nurses, doctors, firefighters, LOV. I gotta send some LOV to the firefighters of North America, the North American Collective Workers Party. Let's get it rolling. For the butchers, the bakers, the nurses, the doctors, the butchers, the bakers, the nurses, the doctors, the butchers, the bakers, the nurses, the doctors. Public workers, please give some charity. Don't be so selfish. If you got some millions, don't be so selfish. And we gotta get it on the go, so that's what we gotta get doing. And where I got gears, got a little bit of a crossing here, and they're playing a little bit of football, so I'm just gonna go out of their way, because the youth sports is important, and youth physical activity, it's always important for me to encourage all to physical activity. So I'm just gonna lower my voice and let them do a little play there. As Aspies, being with HFA, high functioning autism, and Asperger's, of course, I have a tendency to stare at individuals, at citizens. So that is a symptom, because there's no medication for my neurological mental divergent condition. I just have to be mindful that I'm neurodivergent different, and I have to work with it. But their joy is my joy. They're happy, I'm happy. They're secure and safe, I'm happy, secure and safe. You know, that's what matters at the end of the day. The youth, that's the principle primordial, the youth. And if they're happy, I'm happy. If they're happy, I'm happy. And look, we got some of those lights. Beautiful lights. Oh, that's nice. I love lights like that. I'm just gonna cross the street to check it and admiring, and I gotta give it a shout out, because it's powered by Hydro-Quebec, workers of the 20th century. Hey, public workers, Hydro-Quebec workers of yesterday, of today, and for the future. Let's build more dams. I rock and roll, washing of the feet, putting on the table, kisses by the trees, credited from the forgotten goddess. Like to just put some blah blah blah, but nonetheless beautiful, symmetrical and aesthetic, and wow, it's quite nice. It's very beautiful in the back, golden, and of full of colors, and I just love lights like that, and it's really beautiful. Now we're downtown area Montreal, Hawk Island, HEWK, and I'm just curious. This is the second part, November 21st special edition. I'm curious who's actually hitting that gym on the rainy, a bit on the cold side like this, and taking advantage. I'm curious if there's gonna be anybody in the gym, public gym. You're gonna see it, and it's gonna be the mystery involved. Maybe not the second part. Who knows how long this video will last? If it'll last me up to there, but maybe it will, maybe it won't. We'll see. But nonetheless, I'm just curious. Now I hit in that downtown area. I gotta salute the farmers, the bakers, the butchers, the truckers on the road across the North American complex. And the part one, I finished with my DRT theory, the debt refusion theory, for the creation of the Europe Universal Exchange Unit, Universal Exchange Unit. That's what we got to do. We got to implement that DRT. There's no way around where we are now, paradoxically, but my DRT. You can argue all you want, but that's the only solution, brothers and sisters. Straight on the table. And from this aspect, we got that HFA, high functioning autism philosopher, artist, and dancer, androgynous, pansexual philosopher, North American Canadian for world peace, advocate, leaders of the free world, blah blah blah. Come meet me on Mount Royal at the Belvedere Conjurenac. On Mount Royal, my second home, the Mount Royal at that Belvedere Conjurenac, and let's build the Forgotten Goddess Temple. I will WILL to build the Forgotten Goddess Temple. I did say GODDSS, parallel to the North American People's Imperial Coliseum, the North American People's Imperial Coliseum, the North American People's Imperial Coliseum, for that DGA Dancing Goddess Army, aka the North American Integrated Dance League, and that Dragon Army, aka North American Citizen Integrated Security and Service Force, for the North American Collective Regeneration Defense Security and Service. All my protocols and initiatives are, and now, since my obsessive interest includes geopolitics in parallel to rock and roll and fitness and sports, dancing is my favorite sport, dancing is my favorite fitness activity, and sport dancing is my favorite fitness activity and sport. And I do not want to get too close, because I realized that with Asperger's, HFA, high functioning autism, I have a tendency to approach my fellow citizens too closely, and I don't want to, but so I'm just gonna go by the side because there's a safety issue for the child. So I'm just gonna go by the side and drive it south now, and I'm just gonna drive it south and just gonna go east. Just gonna go east, so that's what I want to do. And of course, put a new protocol. Leaders of the free world, that army, made in Canada. Hey, we need to make Canada, North America, made in Canada, North America, made in Canada. That's good. And October 17, hey, made in Canada. It's local, North America, made in Canada. Hey, that's good. We can do so many things in Canada, made in Canada, and my DRT, that refusion theory, is for Canada. Here we got great, and we got to get that coast to coast. We got to implement Operation Northern Scorpio, a military operation, of course, citizen integrated mobilization in the case of a World War III, and I predicted a World War III scenario back in 2019, an international conflagration based on several parameters. I, of course, predicted an international conflagration back in, of course, 2019, when I had predicted an international conflagration. That's what I predicted back in 2019, and here we are on the brink of World War III. On the brink of World War III, it's something that we got to be on the mind on, and we got to be on that solutions, and with solutions, we got to focus ourselves on with solutions. We got to focus ourselves with, and to the public financial system, to the fact that we pay 46.5 billion in interest, 20.3, 20.3. That's what the amount of billions we paid in interest was back 3 years ago in 2020, 2021. So now this year it's 46.5 billion. So it more than doubled. Do the math. From 20.3 times 2, that's 40.6. So it's now 46.5 billion. 46.5 billion. This fiscal year, that's how much we pay in just the interest on the public debt. My brothers and sisters, my DRT theory is the only solution. The D for debt, R, refusion, T for theory, the DRT, which includes monetary integration theory, which is exactly what was done in the European Union. The destruction of their old currencies, the creation of the ECB, the European Central Bank, to issue a new currency. The euro, to issue a new currency, the euro, to issue a new currency, the euro. That's what they did. That's what we need to do here, Yeah. That's why we need to implement the DRT to rebuild the infrastructure. Lots of our infrastructure, even making an assessment now, although it's a bit on the humid side of this infrastructure here. This, thank you though, those who build it, civilization is a privilege. Civilization is a privilege to have lights, to have running water, and all the highways, all the systems of the North American Collective. We need to mass build the infrastructure of the collective North American civilizational complex. My DRT theory is the only solution. You can argue all you want, brothers and sisters, but you can look how it is, and we need to mass rebuild the infrastructure of North America. This is collapsing. See, look, we need the DRT. There's no other way. The debt refusion theory for mass public works. The debt refusion theory for mass public works. The debt refusion theory for mass public works for the 21st century. We need a public-private partnership. My dream is fundamentally a call for a public-private partnership. When I say support the dancing goddess in the dragon kingdom, it's fundamentally a call and a proposition for a North American collective public-private partnership, a PPP, public-private partnership. The DRT, we're going to take all the debt, public and private debt, including my $10,000 to the Bank, of course, of Canada, to the RBC, Royal Bank of Canada. I got to a private institution, $10,000 in debt. We're going to take all the private and the public debt. We're going to convert that public and the private debt into US dollars, because the United States dollar still is the currency of choice for world trade, international business, and global commerce. So we're going to convert all the public and the private debt into US dollars, That's what we're going to do. So all the debt, public and the private debt, we're going to convert it. We're going to convert it into US dollars. All the public and the private debt, we're going to convert it into US dollars. So all the public and the private debt, we're going to convert it into US dollars. My debt, your debt, our debt, your debt, my debt, your debt, 10,000 I got. Coast to coast, all that money, going to convert it to US dollars. That money is going to be the initial money supply for a new central bank. That's the difference between my DRT theory and monetary integration theory in the European Union. So all the debt, public and private debt, Canada first, United States second, third Mexico, and then whoever wills across North American complex, Haiti, Jamaica. Cuba is a bit of a paradox, but North American countries include the islands, the North American complex, the complex of North American collective civilization. So all the debt, public and private debt, is going to be the initial money supply for a new central bank. All the debt is going to be the initial money supply for a new central bank. The money in circulation initially is going to be all the debt. We're going to create a new currency called the UE, based on the value of the US dollars, because we're going to convert all the public-private debt of Canada to US dollars. So we're going to create the UE, U dot universal, E dot exchange, U dot unit. The U dot universal, E dot exchange, U dot unit. The universal exchange unit. We're going to create the UE, based on the value of the US dollar. We're going to set an interest rate level of 10%. It's not going to be able to be more than 10% by principle, but less. It could be less. So less, yes, but not more, right? Less, yes, but not more. So that's the important premise to think about and to meditate. And of course, all that money, the public and the private debt, including my $10,000 as an individual, is going to finance the initial money supply, money in circulation, is the solution. We pay 46.5 billion. In interest. There's no other solution. As much as you can argue, all you want to argue, there's no solution. But my DRT theory, that's a paradox, of course. That is the paradox. That my DRT theory is the solution now, where we are, at least for today. That today we pay 46.5 billion in interest. In 2020-21, we paid 20.3 billion in interest. So do the math. So it more than doubled. So there's no solution to the public financial crisis, paradoxically, but my DRT theory. So that is the solution, right? Because otherwise I can argue, but it's the solution.
No.
Solution, right? So the DRT, debt refusion theory, we're going to have to do it. Because it's about to collapse. All the public services picking up the garbage. Thank you to those who picked up the garbage Mondays. Thank you to those who picked up the recycling Mondays as well. Thank you all to those, of course, who are gonna pick up the compost today. Compost service. 3 services in my neighborhood. Those are public. The roads, the aqueducts, public services. Gotta turn my head left to right. Sometimes they come fast. So all the debt, public and private debt, all the debt, public and private debt, My 10,000, your 10,000, our 10,000, my 10,000, your 10,000, your whatever you have as debt. All the debt is going to be the initial money supplied, the public and the private. For the financing of this new central bank, the money in circulation, we're going to convert it all to US dollars, because the United States dollar still is the currency of choice for world trade, international business, and global finance, right? And that's going to be the money in circulation. We're going to set an interest rate level of 10%. Wow. And we're going to be able with that money to finance much more like this across North America. This is beautiful. 10 on 10. I love the colors. I love the colors on the eye there. This is beautiful. 10 on 10. Whoever did it, over the eye in this kind of like the sun and kind of like the sunflower, but it's really beautiful. 10 on 10. Wow. We're going to be able to do a lot of this painting and colorful art like that across North America, because we're going to mass finance public works, rebuilding of the infrastructure. We're going to rebuild, mass rebuilding of the infrastructure. We're going to mass build the highways, the aqueducts, rebuild the infrastructure. We're going to be able to mass finance citizens to work out, train, exercise. We're going to be able to mass finance citizens to tourism by buses, tourism by buses, for tourism by buses, to mass finance citizens for tourism, for buses, mass finance citizens for tourism. And that's what it is with that. So that's what it is to advocate. That's why I said with the Lion, the electrical bus company, to save the line, of course, because now it's a financial. But maybe we could get the DRT and get some, of course, some of those going, some electric vehicles, and we're going to be used for tourism to cross North America, for tourism to cross North America, for tourism to cross North America, to cross North America, to cross North America. We have to do it. Listen, me, I came out of being depressed and suicidal. 2017, I crossed Canada coast to coast. 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 I crossed Canada coast to coast in 2017. That event completely changed my whole life. I had an illumination when I reached Banff. It's like, wow, Canada, such a great country. And my brothers and sisters, the king is absent. We got to get that republic. We got to get that North American Democratic Republic, the no North American Union. Support the dream, the dancing goddess and the dragon kingdom. If you're a truly androgynous, pansexual, aspie, artist, athlete, philosopher, geopolitical, theoretical, analyst, and theorist who survived COVID, got out being depressed and suicidal, started working out, training, and of course, I'm here. I gotta love that also. Gotta LOV that as well. Looks like stars. Gotta give a little bit of good color there. So it's something which I encourage you all to work out on. I'm working out on the march, marching fitness and always meditating geopolitics, because in Aspie, Aspies, we have obsessive interest, and it's 24/7 geopolitics, which yours truly, rock and roll, and sports and fitness. Dancing is my favorite sport, so it's always something which I gotta get it on the go. So that's what it is for now. So it's that +7 +7 +7 +7, and we got a LOV. Hopefully somebody making good love today. New love, old love, and with the DRT, the creation of the UE, we're gonna be able to do lots of good, rebuild the infrastructure. See, build all the infrastructure, the highways of North America. We're gonna be able to rebuild the highways, rebuild the aqueducts, mass finance citizens fitness, mass finance citizens fitness, mass finance tourism, build more hydroelectric dams here in Quebec. Get to 70, get 7 more dams. We got now 63, and this clean, zero pollution, zero emission, including from my phone, what I'm doing now, the electricity is clean, zero pollution, zero emission, So that's what we gotta be doing. We gotta be implementing the DRT. See, that's that downtown. And now I'm going a little bit on the zigzag, Turn my head left and right, let the fellow citizen cross, and then because I got that pedestrian, I can cross afterwards, So always gotta give a salutation to the firefighters, LOV firefighters. LOV the butchers, LOV the nurses, LOV the doctors, LOV the grocery store clerks. How many trucks now going across Canada, United States, Mexico by the thousands, delivering those goods. Warehouse workers, dock workers, nurses, ambulance drivers, public security. Nobody's perfect. We're individuals, part of institutions. We're working on it. We're emergent civilization, and all ALL who come, my brothers and sisters who come to join us here in Quebec, Canada. Our family, pledge your allegiance, friends with benefits only, friends with benefits only, pledge your allegiance, friends with benefits only. And here we are on the go, on the go now, and counting and doing a little bit of meditation. My brain switches. It's 24/7. It's a constant analysis and geopolitical theorizing, which is truly parallel to sports and rock and roll, because that's why I am a philosopher and artist, a geopolitical, theoretical analyst and theorist. So encourages all to work out, train, exercise, and my fellow citizens here doing a little bit of jog. I always LOV to see people physically active, and I am physically active now doing this video on the march, stretching left and right, meditating geopolitics and discussing my propositions and theories and my dream. When I say my dream, manifesting as the dancing goddess in the dragon kingdom, that's fundamentally a call for a public-private partnership to support my Trinity theory, CIT, citizen integration theory, the DRT, debt refusion theory, which I previously discussed. There's no solution, brothers and sisters. It's about to collapse. We're not going to, imagine, we can't sustain it. It's not sustainable. We're not going to be able to pay the firefighters, not going to be able to pay the public workers who pick up the garbage, who pick up the compost, who pick up the garbage, who pick up the compost, you know. That's what it is with that, and that's what it is with that, and that's what we got to get doing on the XYZ. That's what we got to get doing on the love, you know. So it's always something which we got to be meditating about. The public works, the butchers, the bakers, and those nurses, and those, of course, my brothers and sisters for blacks of North America, 13.4%. My brothers and sisters, if I am to fight racism myself, sometimes it's subconscious. Got to put on the table the same things, kisses and hugs, and to work together, you know, to work together for the North American collective defense, coast to coast only defense. Defense like that hardball ball, aka blackout ball. Only defense like that hardball ball. Like that hardball ball, aka the blackout ball. When my 49ers lost, please NFL, National Football League, NHL, National Hockey League, NBA, National Basketball Association, MLB, please reduce the cost of the tickets by 44.9%. 44.9%, I estimate the cost due to the increasing of the prices of the parity that they need to be reduced ASAP. 44.9%. 44.9%. That is my estimated calculation for the prices of the tickets to become more affordable for the majority of the population, which salaries have stagnated since 2020, February, March, when I had COVID. So back when I had COVID, for me, COVID was like death, pestilence, and disease. Death, pestilence, disease. Sounds like a rock and roll heavy metal song, but I died during COVID right there. I'm being reborn, nothing that I want to go back to, but here we are on the go. And that's what it is with that. That's what it is with that. So here I am and admiring this beauty. This is another great work of art. Talent. Wow, we need more like this across North America by implementing my DRT theory, debt refusion theory, for the creation of the UE. For the creation of the UE, we're going to be able to do more. We're going to be able to do more work like that, you know. That's what we're going to be able to do, more work like that. Lots of work like that, works of art, embellishments of the cities, restructuring, mass financing of the public works, the highways. You saw so many conditions in my videos, the condition by my assessments, how of course they need to be rebuilt. Blah, blah, blah on the table. The DRT has to be implemented ASAP. It's about to be a catastrophe. More than double paying the interest, only the interest on the public debt. 46.5 billion. The billion has 9 zeros. If I would have had 44 billion after Donald Trump got elected, because I would have voted Kamala. I'm not speaking as a Quebecer, Canadian, North American who was born in the USA twice. Once as a woman, twice as a man. Was born twice as a man. Served in the same army, US Army, 156 years apart in two different wars, and that's what it is with that, 2 different wars, and now here right now for the defense, only for the defense, you know. That's why we gotta get that stratagems, and for defensive protocols, the Dragon Army, you know, for the rebuilding North American complex, for defense, security, and service only, for defense only. Defense, that has to be understood clearly, because as much as I can be verbose and intellectual, academic, and geopolitical analysis and theorizing, and have knowledge of Putin's doctrine and Putin's Russia and Xi Jinping's governance of China, manuscripts, and of course the dogmas and the ideologies, at the end of the day, I'm a Quebecer North American. As much as I can give intellectual, sophisticated, it doesn't really matter if I take a position. My primary position is for defense, security, and service and rebirth of the North American collective civilization. Defense, security, service for the collective North American civilization and complex. Defense, security, and service for the civilization and complex of North America, because I'm in North America. Oh, we gotta get it on that go, so we gotta get it on the do, you know, so that's what we gotta get doing on that, you know. So my fellow cousins there, you know, doing a little bit of smile and say, oh yeah, he's an Aspie. I give people permission to laugh at me, can have weird mannerisms, you know, weird posturing of the body, and Aspies I learned to accept it in the past 45 months and to work on my symptoms, you know, because they're symptoms. It's not a mental illness, it's a neurological mental divergent condition, and We're weird. We can be weird. We can be weird aspies. You know, if you have HFA, high functioning autism, you know what I'm discussing. But we have our strengths, and my strength is geopolitics. I've been sports and fitness, and of course geopolitics, sports and fitness, and of course geopolitics, sports and fitness, and of course that sports and fitness geopolitics has made me, of course, that my obsessive interest has made that I predicted, because for years and years and years I've been studying and analyzing geopolitics, and of course I've made, geopolitics, I've made an analysis which of course in 2019 had concluded that humanity is set again towards an international conflagration. I got proof of work 5 years ago. I predicted what's happening now. Back in 2019, I predicted what's happening now back in 2019. 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 In 2019, I predicted what's happening now. I predicted what's happening now, what's happening now. I predicted it back, of course, in a general manner, and you know, the children are happy, I'm happy. That's what's most important. Their safety, their joy and safety and security. That's the most important thing of North America, 40 plus million. You know, my fellow Quebecers family here. Quebecers family, Canadians, you're my family, and we're only for defense. I'll be the first one to join, of course, and that applies to my brothers and sisters in the USA South to go for that defense. To defend Quebecers, Canadians here, you know, because here I died, I'm being reborn on the island of Montreal, you know, so it is what it is here as a philosopher, artist, athlete, you know, 24/7. Geopolitics, the analysis, the study of geopolitical theoretical analysis, you know, that's a constant thing with this aspect, and plus some rock and roll with that for those skyscraper builders. We're closely approaching. I'm really curious. I said I'm going to embark on a march to see who and if there's somebody on a great day like this. Although it started raining, it stopped. It was raining all day, then it stopped, and now it's kind of stopped, but it's getting cooler. The temperature is dropping. There's a drop in temperature. I can feel it on the hands and on the face mostly. That there's a few degrees drop down since I left, you know, already about 93 minutes ago. So it's gonna be about a 5-hour marching workout today, back and forth. I'm gonna just go driving in there and see, maybe I'm gonna do a little bit of workout, but I don't want to overwork, because maybe I worked a lot of legs, marching, a lot of the legs, you know. So I'm gonna go check out the gym. It's a public gymnasium basically, so it's built by the public, so everybody has access to it. So we got to get that access, and we got to build more like that, as they are now, as you're going to see in this video or in another video. By the implementation of my DRT, the debt refusion theory, we're going to be able to make and do many more like that. We're going to be able to make and create a few more like that. I'm just gonna take a little turn here. I'm kind of going like a snake, you know, like in a sliding snake, you know, but that's what it is with that. So it's something which, of course, we got to get on that circumvision. So it's something which, of course, we got to get it on to do, and that's how we got to get it on the go, you know. So that's what we got to do, of course, with the XYZ, and always meditating on all the activities across North American complex, and I call all willingly loving. Pledge your allegiance, calling all willingly loving. Pledge your allegiance, calling all willingly loving. Pledge your allegiance, support the dream, the dancing goddess, and the dragon kingdom. Fundamentally a call for a public-private partnership, the implementation of my Trinity of theories, the Holy Trinity. CIT, Citizen Integration Theory, DRT, Debt Refusion Theory, DFT, Democratic Fusion Theory, to create two complementary covenant and cooperative institutions. Look at those lights. Got to give a shout out to Hydro-Quebec. What a beautiful city, Montreal, Hawk Island metropolis. What a beauty. Just gonna cross safely here, maybe go with the lights. Yeah, best if I go with the lights and then circumvent it, driving in back to that side, and that's what it is. Beautiful city, beautiful metropolis. Construction workers gotta go. Those cranes. I have a little crane fetish, and I always admire skyscrapers and all types of building. Construction workers generally. 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 So that's why we're gonna go do it, and we're gonna circumvent, and I'm gonna go passing here with that, and I'm gonna get it on the go. So now we're gonna get it for the passing straights. I mean, gonna turn a little bit when we're further down south. Because if I go by there, it's going to be too populated, and I don't want to be too much in the population zones. Because nice red, my favorite color. That's what I said. Hey, I got to come once here. I got to come once. You got that red, I'm down with it. Today I am financially stressed. Today I'm financially stressed. But one time getting me a little bit of that XYZ, and that's what it is with that, and that's what it is with that, you know. So that's what gotta come eat, you know. That's what I come eat with that. So that's what I go come eat with that. So that's what we gotta go doing XYZ, you know. That's what we gotta go doing with that, you know. We gotta get in doing on the do, you know. It's always something which we gotta import and export. And my fellow, of course, cousins there, citizens there, doing a little bit of that work, doing a little bit of that work, you know. That's what it is for that. So we gotta get on that meditative state, and we gotta get on that meditation, you know. Gotta get it all the time. As that, of course, it takes a little bit of that foundation, and it takes a little bit of doing, part of thinking. We gotta get it on the thinking now, or we gotta get it on the thinking for the action. Sometimes for the lovers, you know, the butchers, the bakers, those, of course, doing some of that work, some of that labor there, some of that artistic labor, some of that food labor. Those in the fast food, I gotta send some love. Food workers, that's red, my favorite color. That's nice. Wow, I just love the red stairs. I can go up and down a few hundred times in the red, and I just love that red. So that's why I'm stopping. I'm imagining doing a few times, going up and down on the red stairs, and that's what I would love to go up and down a few hundred times on those stairs. And that's what we gotta go doing on that. But I just love red, so I always stare a little bit, and I imagine myself going 300 times up and down for the Dragon versus Trump, because it's a Dragon versus Trump edition. You know. So it's always work with me, work with me, and independent work, and XYZ. That's what we gotta go doing, man. Always meditating, and gotta check a little bit of work for the infrastructure here. I'm just gonna make a translation. I'm gonna do an estimation, because I just discussed the DRT for the creation, of course, of the debt refusion theory, the mass infrastructure rebuilding. This says work, infrastructure work, and imagination of the rue. The rue is street. So this is travaux is work, infrastructure work. Reimagination is 14.9 million. So see, with my DRT, we're gonna be able to do more. Please give some charity. BNS reduce the tickets cost by 44%. But it's interesting that we got Public Works. You got to know more information. You can call these numbers, but it's go Public Works go. Got to sing some of that rock and roll for the Public Works. So it's good that we got a lot of Public Works to do in Montreal, you know. We got a lot of Public Works to do in Montreal. You know. So a lot of Public Works, you know. That's what we got to go doing on that. So we got to get it doing on that, and that's what we got to get doing, you know. And here, these buildings, these mega complexes here, kind of needs a little bit of color, but of course, it's always something which I meditate upon as I go, of course, now, doing a little meditation on all the buildings as I meditate how they were built, how they were structured, the initiatives, the financing, and of course, numero uno, first and foremost, the construction workers on steel toes and cranes up in the road. The construction workers on the toes, walking the road. The construction workers, hey, that's beautiful. The construction workers on steel toes, going up and up the crane we go, going up and up on 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 crane we go. The constructors on the road, on the cranes up in the go, Gonna see some of that work, Wow, I am a fan. You know? I say some LOV to the construction workers who build the skyscrapers of North America. Public workers, LOV. Box for them, sing for them. Workers of the past 20th century. Workers now on the field for today and for tomorrow with hope. I can play that rainbow dragon, you know, being androgynous, pansexual, but that's just one part. You can discard that and, you know, focus on my theories. Sometimes it's my personal life, as I put on the YouTube, my scars, my trauma, and survive. Vicious surprise attack a few years ago. Got that blackout, triggered amnesia, blackout of memory, you know. Just remember the past 7-8 years moving and from a moldy place to where I am now, which is my underground lair, where I died of COVID 2020 February. And nothing that I want to go back to, just living for today, carpe diem, that would help for tomorrow. When I see people hugging, holding hands, gonna listen to some goodness, acts of goodness and charity, that gives me hope. When I see the public workers on the works, building some of those, rebuilding the infrastructure, putting maybe embellishments, some of that color here, maybe. You know, we gotta get that DRT, debt refusion theory. DRT, debt refusion theory is the only solution of where we are now. The DRT, debt refusion theory, and of course we gotta embellish the mega cities of North American complex so much. I just imagine now a mass financing, but you have to have talent. How all this would be embellished by a lot of graffiti art. It would be just colorful, you know, like rainbow, blue, white, whatever the case may be. And that's whatever the case may be, that's what it will be here, you know. So yeah, it will be the mass embellishment. It will be all the big painting. Maybe parts of Hydro-Quebec, when the construction of the Hydro-Quebec dams, part of North American history. Events, maybe 20th century. That's the vision that I had. Of course, I do not paint graffiti art well, like you saw those that I saw in the video. And of course, has to be good, like artists who can paint my vision, which is North American union base. For North Americans Unite is the rock and roll song 24/7, and for the butchers, the bakers, the nurses, the doctors, the grocery store clerks, always thinking about the fast food workers, you know. Gotta give them a raise. Please reduce the tickets cost, and please, NFL, National Football League, NHL, National Hockey League, NBA, National Basketball Association, MLB, please reduce the costs, cost of the tickets, and give some free tickets to the public workers, those firefighters, those who pick up the garbage, the compost, garbage, the recycling, the compost, the garbage, the recycling, the compost, the garbage. Give them some free tickets. Please, NFL, National Football League, NHL, National Hockey League, NBA, National Basketball Association, MLB, please. Just make mass donations ASAP. Tickets to the public workers in North America. Make mass donations. Millionaires, billionaires already got your paper. Mass donations of the tickets. Public workers go maybe city halls across the great cities of North America, and the small hall cities of North America. Donate, give some of that. Good tickets. NFL tickets, NHL tickets, NBA tickets, MLB tickets. Reserved for the public workers, you know. Public sanitation workers, those who pick up the garbage, public transit workers, public nurses, public doctors. Just as a gesture. That's my call of the heart. I wish I would have 44 billion. I would have went to donate some billions across the collective North American civilization. I would have went to donate some billions. For 10% of 44 billion is 4.4 billion. So that means that I would have been able to give 50,000 Canadian, or 44,700 to so many different people with that. Hey, I would have been able to enable that, and I would have, of course, went incognito, the hoodie on, down and dirty hoodie on, and dirty with the down and dirty hoodie on, and I would have just donated, and I said, this is to that Perno individual struggling. I would have said, this is 50,000, 44, whatever you use it well. This is your second chance. This is my redemption, and I had my second chances, so that's what I would have been doing, you know, to my fellow brothers and sisters, and whoever need, I would have made a mass donation with that, and that's what I would have done, a mass donation with that money. I would have mass donated it to, of course, the bus drivers, and not really the bus drivers, but I mean to vets, homeless, and those precarious situations. I would have given a lot of that money. And that finance. I would have given them that money and that finance, you know, to give a second chance to start over, get a second chance, and that would have been, of course, appreciated. And see a gym there, you see him here, use it well, you know, clean, disinfect, because we got that bacteria, got those germs, got that microbes. I'm a bit obsessed about microbes, bacteria, and germs, and That's what it is since COVID. COVID could have been a I do say that it was transmitted from snakes first and foremost, but it could have been something else, you know, and we have to be a bit, not to be overly alarmed and scared or to be an alarmist or to be a fear monger, because I try to play that centrism balance, you know, but it's possible. Listen, it's possible nuclear war. It's possible nuclear war. We have built during the 44.9 years, 50 years. During the 50 years we have built so much. 50 years we have built so much in the Cold War period, which lasted from 1947 till 1991, almost 45 years. Almost 45 years of the Cold War, almost 45 years of the Cold War. We built so many ICBM rockets, and of course there has been so many ICBM rockets which were built. Supposedly the first one Russia launched. Now, of course, in Ukraine, the first one was launched. You know, was launched. Of course, the children, the youth are happy. I'm happy. That's what's most important, and their safety, security, and you know, they smiled and I smiled, and that's most important. The youth joy, and it's for them, you know. Gonna play that defense. I'll play the defense to defend them, but that's what it is with that. So now that we got more news, of course, of the World War potential, and of course I gotta say again that I predicted what's happening now back in 2019, an international conflagration. Send some LOV to the firefighters, send some LOVs to the firefighters, sending some LOV to the firefighters right there. Please, somebody make them some good loving when they get back home safe. If not, send them to me. I'll give them some kisses and tickles and feet washing, you know, rainbow dragon style. And always got to thinking about them, you know. Play that 50-50, but always mindful that civilization is a privilege. All the things we have in common, we got to get it on the go. We got to get it on the go. We got to get it on the go with that, you know. So it is what it is now. As I march, of course, on the downtown, we got to get it on the downtown, and we got to meditate. And I like that building complex that it is there. I'm always looking, of course, at the architecture of the new ones compared to the older ones, which are in existence. And of course, I'm looking for coffee from Uganda. Coffee Uganda. I had from a lot of countries, and that's the next one on my list. And of course, we import a lot of coffee, but that's what it is with that, and that's what we gotta get doing, you know. So I'm meditating now, of course. Geopolitical meditations, rock and roll, and again, call it a heart for the implementation of my DRT theory. The DRT theory for the implementation of the UE. The universal exchange in it, the universal exchanges. I go, of course, do a little bit of workout with that, and of course, always got to meditate on what's going to be built here. What is it exactly going to do, and how is it built? I'm assuming that it's just rebuilding the infrastructure, of course, for the collective. Basically, let's see if there's information there. Maybe there is some information here. Oh no, there's no information. So basically it's the public works, part of public works here, how it was built and how many bricks. How much do we think it will take me to get those bricks layered there, and how much it will take me to put those bricks inside, you know? I'm not sure, because of course we don't know. And that's what we gotta get doing on that, you know? It's always something which we gotta implement, and I gotta get it from the sidewalks. I gotta go see. Oh, now it's cleared, of course. Now it's cleared. Oh, red, man. Please give some charity. BNS. Oh, that was something that I would love to have in a room. I would love to have that in a room. I would really love to have that in a room. Please, BNS. Give some charity, you know. It's nice red, you know. So we gotta get it on that go. You know. Oh, yeah. That's how it is, man. Workout training program system there. Oh, they got some nice gym here. Huh? This is nice gym. Good for you. Keep on working out, man. Working out is good for you, you know. Here we got a nice barber shop, and gotta get it for that barber shops, and we gotta get it for that XYZ, and that's all we gotta get it for to do. Oh, switch it in the dark again, you know. Sometimes where there's a light, there's a shadow. There's a light and a shadow, and many years, you know, been struggling, stress, and walk the city alone and forlorn. And I gotta get that workout. I always workout train. I started my workout training fitness journey 2017 when I crossed Canada coast to coast. That event in my life made me come out of being depressed and suicidal. Was depressed, suicidal. that event really changed my whole life around. That event really changed my whole life event. And again, a fitness, somebody going on that treadmill, go buddy, go buddy, go buddy, go girl, trans, LGBTQ, whatever, pronouns, XYZ, Rainbow Nation, across nation. I encourage all ALL to work out, train, exercise. It really is my medicine and therapy of choice. And somebody's swimming, and that's good. I love swimming, but maybe I'm gonna hit it during the winter because I got access. I believe it's still free. It's still free, the access, so I'm gonna take advantage of swimming in the winter. I'm gonna hit up some laps in the swimming, and all sports and fitness activities. I love boxing, challenging Donald Trump to a boxing match across the Canadian North American complex, you know. So it's that 24/7 as I go, you know, on the marching steps. It's marching pace. And this Quebecer Canadian who was born in the USA 3 times. Once as a woman, twice as a man in the past lives. Previous incarnations in past lives. Previous incarnations, past lives. Previous incarnations, past lives. Served in the United States Army 156 years apart. 156 years apart. 156 years apart. Same army. Different wars, same army, different wars, same army, different wars. And here where I wanted to reach, gotta give a salutation to the Publik bus drivers, those who build it, and getting close to my destination. Gotta switch it a little bit to that French, you know, because we're not that belle province, so you know how we do it, or, you know, we gotta put a little compromise. Is the great linguistic compromise for the French language here, Quebecer, Canadian, North American, you know. And it's sometimes encouraging, oh, please, if you come here, Montreal, Quebec, please only buy. Please only buy Quebec-made products, local-made products, local-made products, Quebec-made products, local cheese, local butter, local bread, local beer. Please, 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 only purchase domestic produce. Only purchase domestic produce. Only purchase domestic produce. I'm gonna go by the side. I think that's best. Admiring that beautiful skyscraper. I think that's, yeah, that is an older one. That is from the 80s or 70s even. So that's what it is with that. That's what it is with that. And we got to get it by the passing here. And I got to circumvent, but it is a passage. So you're allowed to pass. Here's the parking lot. It's not private, and you can just pass by this side and put a step sometimes and step in front of the other, and that's how your fitness journey begins. I always say, my fitness journey always begins now. My fitness journey always begins now. My fitness journey always begins today. So I'm assessing a little bit of our infrastructure, assessing the infrastructure here, assessing the infrastructure, assessing. Yeah, we need a mass rebuilding of our infrastructure across North America, brothers and sisters. We need a mass rebuilding of the infrastructure across North America. We do need a mass rebuilding of the infrastructure across North America. You can see it here. You know, you can see it here. It's rainy. We need mass rebuilding of the infrastructure. I don't know when this was built. So I don't know all the infrastructure. There's so many things I do not know myself. So I can't really say when that was built, what year, but I assume that it was about 45 years ago, you know. So we got that train to go, and we got to get on that train, you know, and meditating on the trains, meditating on the infrastructure that carries those trains, the railroads, that we got a lot of work to do of the infrastructure renewal of the 21st century. Massive. My DRT theory, the debt refusion theory is the only solution. There's no other solution but the DRT, debt refusion theory. Now where we are, at this point in time, we have reached a point in time where there's no other solution, and I still got to turn my head left or right. Although I have priority, I still got to turn my head left or right. Although there's priority, I still going to turn my head left or right. And I believe this is the path which will carry me exactly where I want to go. Exactly where I want to go. Because I had priority, you know, so I think this is exactly the path where I wanted to go. I forgot the name of the street there. That's a beautiful work of art. And, you know, you see downtown, and you see a lot of XYZ, and that's what we got to get doing with that. That's what we got to get doing here, you know. The DRT is the only solution. My DRT theory, the debt refusion theory for the creation of the UE. My brothers and sisters, you can argue all you want, but Creating the UE will propel us in the 21st century. A new public-private partnership, a new public-private partnership, a new public-private partnership, the North American Collective, and all the interparts playing in, east, west, north, south. And we're going to be able to defend, open up, and build 44 tunnels. Open and build 44 tunnels, open up and build 44 tunnels. That is my call, to build, in case of a thermonuclear war, to build 44 tunnels. Because listen, it's possible that the first time supposedly the use of ICBM rockets has been used in the Russia-Ukraine conflict. In the Russia-Ukraine conflict, supposedly for the first time, Vladimir Putin, has for the first time used ICBM rockets, intercontinental ballistic missiles, for the first time, supposedly, from what we know. Of course, they're still to be confirmed, but of course we know that in the past days there has been the changing of the nuclear doctrine, and due to it being in response to Joe Biden, of course, changing allowing President Zelensky to use ATACMS missiles, which have a range of 300 kilometers maybe plus, 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 300 kilometers maybe plus. That's what it is there, so. "300 kilometers maybe plus, 300 kilometers. There's in black and there's in white. 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 There's in black. There's in black and there's in white. There's in black. Black and white. It takes a little bit of that rainbow red color, Black and white, yes, I love it in black and in white and in rainbow. I love it in black and white and in rainbow. I love in black and white and in rainbow. But now it's maybe World War III on the horizons. I predicted it back in 2019. In 2019, I predicted an international conflagration based on several levels of analysis. To gotta get doing with that, and we gotta get doing on the XYZ, So I think they're singing some of that rock and roll song. With that, maybe some of that French rock and roll, which we need to switch it on and be mindful of, of course, that I have some allergic reaction to dogs, so I gotta be a bit on the prudent side of putting on a leash. I was gonna let the person know that, of course, I do have some allergies, so unless it's a poodle, but now it's safe, so that's all we gotta get doing with that. And let's see how many people came. This is what I came here for, to see, of course, how many people came. Oh, we got some people, good for you. 33333, that's good. I always gotta get it on the go, and got some of that good workout training programs, and gotta see if they have, of course, there's a boxing match. Not boxing match, there's a boxing tunnel, and always good to do a little bit of those push-ups here and there, and we gotta get it on now. See if there's a good one here. You can maybe come. I don't know if I should do it on today. I was just curious, of course, how many people made it today and how many people came. And this is a public gym. It's kind of nice, and you can have a locker there, and you have these which you can train here on the side. So it's kind of cool. So that's a public accessible gym, which is kind of cool. And looking on the infrastructure now, gonna maybe go a little bit around and come back and continue my march. So 3, that's good. The few who made it on the rainy day like this, I guess it's always good. And for my march, I just wanted to come and do maybe a little bit of those flexing up, fly a little bit, maybe fly on that fly, getting on that side. Oh yeah, now you get that wind. I gotta switch because I'm gonna be off. I'm about to fly myself. So it's always something which I gotta be mindful of and meditate on that. So 3 people came, and maybe we're gonna do a part 3. So let's see.